first thing you want to do when you find yourself in a wilderness survival situation like this is place yourself close to both food and water.
And from the looks of things, the Des Moines River will suffice.
In the wilderness, there's always food around if you know where to look. Minnows are full of protein, relatively easy to catch. Now we just need a net. So the first thing that you need is a good stick with the proper curvature. The second thing we're going to be needing is your shirt. Fortunately, I have an extra one. This will be the net which we will use to catch those minnows. You want to make sure that you do not break the stick, so it can cause a lot of trouble, especially when you need food out here in these situations. You want to be very careful. And the third thing that you're going to need to tie off that net is your shoelace. And what you're going to do, you want to make sure that no fish are going to be able to escape. There's nothing better than a good fish, no matter how small. That is how you make a net to catch those minnow. You want to make sure that you get off any cotton that you're wearing, such as these shoes. So you don't want to keep that cold water on you. It's a quick way to get hypothermia and end your journey into the wilderness. It looks like we got a couple. Here we have our meal for today. This cute little minnow. Now when they're small, you can just swallow them. You don't need to chew the bones. And they'll wriggle while they're going down, but that's half the fun.
When you find yourself around this much water, there's the possibility of falling in. And with the current as steep as this current here at the Des Moines River, that could lead to trouble. I'm going to show you how to move with the current that could save your life someday. First thing you want to do is get rid of all extra clothing. Reduces your chance of getting hypothermia. We're going to walk out over here and jump into the current. Oh, mighty slippy. Now when you jump in, you want to make sure that you have your feet out in front of you so that you can feel along for boulders. Ready? It's cold. Keep the feet out in front of you. You want to try and steer yourself over to a rock, something you can grab onto. Drops off mighty quickly. Once you get yourself out of the current, you want to move yourself down along the face. Then it'll be easier to jump in and follow the current to the shore. Now when you jump in again, you want to jump out so you don't get any of the hidden side of the rock. You want to jump out again when you want to have your knees nice and loose. If you lock them up, you could break them. You want to keep your head out of the water. Try and steer yourself around with the current. And then when it's shallow enough to stand, you can walk over. The water is cold, so you have to get your heart rate up again by doing jumping jacks. Or push-ups. And then you want to get out of these wet clothes and put something dry on. Worst case scenario, you make a fire and take all your clothes off. But no one will know because you're out in the wilderness.
Now one of the best foods when you're in a situation like this is larvae. And what the locals will do, they'll put their ears right up next to the tree, listen for larvae inside. From the looks of things, There's no lava in this tree. And if you cannot find a lava, the next best thing is worms. You can always just look under logs. It's always good to find one or two. We've got a nice worm. If you want to bite that, and swallow. And the other half, swallow it right up. That's how you're going to survive in situations like this. One thing that you can do when you find yourself in a dire situation, you do not have time to boil water, you can reach down some water that may not be the safest to drink. As I always say, bad water is better than no water.
And I'm Nate Johnston. We're the Hidden Acres Wilderness Counselors.
This is only a taste of what you'll be experiencing this summer. And what a privilege being God's outdoors.